Hi and welcome back. In this episode of How Many Episodes Can We Film in One Morning? It's not even noon yet and I've already gone 2. This is number 3. We are going to go ahead and get the grind together to be able to make sausage. We're going to do blood sausage, but I'm also going to save half of it and put it in the freezer for chili. We are going to go ahead and make that as well. I do have a video of deer chili. I think it was my second episode that I did back in 2021. If you want to refer back to that one, you can. My sister has a different recipe that we're going to go ahead and use. She gave me the restaurant style. It takes 10 pounds of meat. I don't have that much. I'm going to go ahead and scale it down. So let's get started. Here I have some neck meat. I also have the meat off of the shoulder that we are going to go ahead and clean up. We are going to go ahead and separate what we want from the grind and stew meat, because we're also going to go ahead and save some of that, because some of this is thick enough to where we can go ahead and just make stew out of it. Honestly, I think all of this can be grind. I'm seeing this way too fatty, way too much sinew in this to be able to be stew meat. So let's go ahead and just grind all this up. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the shoulder meat. This is where we're going to be getting most of our stew meat, because it's a little bit thicker and not so fatty or sinewy, to be able to get some good solid chunks off of this. Hopefully we'll have enough for 3 or 4 pints or even quarts of stew meat for future meals. We'll go ahead and film that at a different time. And this looks like it's a lot of silver on it. I'm just going to put that in the grind. The grinder actually separates a lot of this, the silver with the tannins and everything else like that. Whenever you take off the cap, whenever you're done, there is usually at the end of this, where the blade is, see how that's all nice and bunched up? That is mainly the sinew, which can be thrown out. Okay, 1 sandwich bag equals 2 pints. Whenever you are processing your own deer, you want to get all the glands out. The lymphatic system in a deer goes through the entire muscle group, and they are small, so you need to keep your eye out for things that look like dirt, like this. Okay, that was a lymphatic gland that burst whenever we were processing in the first place. Whenever Grandpa was cutting this up, we need to get that out and get it thrown out. I'm not even putting that into the dog food. We got some pretty good shoulder stew meat out of this shoulder. I've got 2 really full sandwich bags. Each sandwich bag can do 2 pints, and then a little bit left over. And we're going to go ahead and grind the rest of this. And we'll be right back. Everything's ground up. We have 2.5 sandwich bags full of stew meat to canned stew. We're not going to make the stew and then can it. We're just going to do it in the jar. Now we're going to go ahead and measure this out. We're going to take about 2 pounds for the deer chili, and then the rest is going to be for sausage. Okay, turn that on. Make sure it's on pounds. Put that on there. Zero it out. Okay, that is 1 pound. We're going to go ahead and freeze this for another canning session because my back is screaming. All right, it's at 0. One more. And that's the 2nd pound. I'm going to go ahead and label that and put it in the freezer. Now let's go ahead and see how much more I have for sausage. 3 pounds, 0.9 ounces. So a little bit more for the sausage. I'm good with that. Blood sausage has a rich history in European cultures as well as Asian cultures. It utilizes some of the blood to keep the moisture in a sausage or in a type of meat that does not have that much moisture in it, and deer does not have much moisture. Most people put in pork fat with this, sometimes beef fat. Really depends on your preference. We are going to go ahead and utilize some of the deer blood that I saved up. We're going to add oats to this sausage. Now you can go ahead and use some parboiled rice. You can add a little bit of flour. It's really up to you how you make your own sausage, but so long as it holds the moisture, you'll be able to have a nice moist sausage. Dry sausage is not that pleasing. Okay, so we have 3 pounds of the deer. We are going to add, try not to show this on camera, 1.5 cups of the deer blood. Same amount in your oats. I'm using gluten-free. Now, whenever it comes to spices, you can add any spices that you wish. I'm going to go ahead and do a country style type of sausage. Okay, this is going to be about 3 tablespoons of salt. A little bit more. 1 tablespoon of pepper. About a tablespoon of onion powder. This is all nice and clumped up. I need to get more. This is soaked up. I don't like buying the big ones. This was given to me. But I don't use it enough to where it just becomes hard. I am going to need to purchase more, just not in so much of a quantity. 2 teaspoons of paprika. You can use smoked, you can use Hungarian, whatever you wish. One-half teaspoon of nutmeg. Half a teaspoon of allspice. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 2 teaspoons of sugar. It helps with the curing. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and mix with gloves. Then we're going to go ahead and put it in a bag, leave it overnight in the refrigerator. That way everything gets soaked up. And then we'll go ahead and put it in casings. This is going to be a dark type of sausage with spices. Now with blood sausage, you can just mix the blood with the spices and the oatmeal. You don't have to have the meat in here. In fact, some cultures do it that way. There is also the, you can add veggies, just, any green that you wish. It's just literally blood sausage. Now that it's all mixed up, I'll go ahead and show it to you. It's darker. It's got the spices. It's got the oats mixed in there. We'll go ahead and put this in the refrigerator overnight. I'll let the spices marinate into the meat. That is most important. It has to sit for a while. There we go. And we'll see you in the morning. It is sausage stuffing day, and we're going to try something new. We're going to use some clear collagen casings for our breakfast sausage. One of these tubes will do about 5 pounds. We only have 3 pounds, so we're not going to use a whole thing. My problem is that whenever I'm using the regular fresh intestines, they tend to rip on me and tear, and it's all a mess. We're going to try this to see if it works. And I've got Grandpa here just in case it doesn't work, because I am terrible at stuffing sausage. I can make it, I just can't stuff it. Not too bad. They're twisting a little bit better than the intestines?
having trouble twisting here and there. But
Okay. Where'd the chopstick go? Here we go. Still have a little bit of sausage left here. We can make into like patties or something. Mix it in with the eggs.
Oh.
Oh, a little bit of a scramble. That's not going to be dinner, is it? Nah. Always wash your hands. So it looks like it's twisting a lot on you.
Yes.
There we go. Call that blessed. Understood. All right, wash your hands. And we're going to go ahead and put this in a 350 until it's fully cooked. Then we're going to go ahead and cut these up into baggy-sized portions. And then we're going to go ahead and use the rest of this to make what's called an egg scramble. Yeah, I got my eggs here, my sausage, rendering down, melting down the tallow. Now, if you want to add onions to this, you can. You're going to want to add that first. And you want to add your sausage. Because it has the oatmeal in here, it's going to stick to the bottom a little bit. We're going to try not to. See how it's starting to stick? And starting to brown, change colors. The moisture is cooking out of the sausage. That's kind of what we want. But we want the moisture to be in the oats as well. to keep the moisture. And after we have that in, we can add the eggs. And then let that cook together until done. You can serve this with toast, add some tomatoes to it. You know, this is basically your protein, little bit of veggies for either the morning, you know, evening snack. And as soon as those are done, we're going to go ahead and let these cool. And as soon as those are cool, I'll go ahead and put them in baggies for morning breakfasts. So that's it for now for the sausage. Or for the deer. I still have the ground up for the chili. It's in the freezer. I'll do that at a different time. And we have 2 roasts. One for Christmas, one for Thanksgiving. Now, for Thanksgiving, I am not cooking. I am not cooking. I'm not cooking. We're going over to a friend's house. I am going to go ahead and make 1 or 2 side dishes. I'll go ahead and film those. I think I want to do maple glazed carrots and something else. I'm not too sure, but I definitely want to do the maple glazed carrots. You know, it doesn't feel like it's November. It's supposed to be cold. We're all supposed to be, you know, nice and in sweats and have the heater on. I haven't turned the heater on yet. And it's almost Thanksgiving. It feels like it's still September. This is going to be a very warm winter for us down here. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.